what's up? Welcome back. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Jasmine. This is Hugo, that is Haiti, and there is Christian. So we are a autism family. Our son, he is 5 years old, and he is on the autism spectrum, and he is nonverbal. So if you'd like to follow along on our journey, we do have Instagram and Facebook. You can find us just searching Rocking the Spectrum. We would love for you guys to join our little family, our little community. So we are on our way to San Diego, and it is a long drive. So we asked you guys if you would be so kind and ask us questions, anything to do with autism or family or whatever. And a lot of you guys did, so thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and answer those questions right now. First question is from Santi's World. What's the hardest part of being a special needs parent? I would like to hear your answer and Dad's. Everyone has a different point of view, I think. Much love to you guys, and drive safe. Thank you. So the hardest part for me would probably be having to guess at a lot of things. Christian is nonverbal, and I feel like that's where a lot of the Christian's behaviors come from. If you don't feel understood, you're going to try to do whatever it takes to get your way or to feel understood. So we're definitely working on communication. So that is, at the moment, what is the hardest part for me. What about you, Dad?
Thank you for the comment. The hardest part was, there's quite a few things, but what comes to my mind is when we have family gatherings and people are trying to get to know Christian, and for Christian it's a little hard for him to open up, and everyone really wants to engage with him, and he just has a hard time opening up. Another thing is, I also think of his future, if he's going to be able to depend on his own.
Be independent. Yeah.
And as of right now, we're doing everything we can, taking him into ABA, speech therapy, and everything is one step at a time. And we hope that we're doing the right moves to get him where he needs to be in the future.
Yeah, because there's no rule book or directions for this journey. Just like becoming a parent, you don't get like a pamphlet saying this is what you have to do. We're all just doing our best and hoping that things work out for the best for him. You know, like every child has their own journey, and we're just hoping that we can give him the best life that he can live. You know.
Yes.
Good question. Next question would be from Cameron. What is one country you would like to take your family to? Also, hi from Scotland. Also, I'm a new sub. Thank you for joining our little family. Appreciate you subscribing. And I love that you're from a different country and you're watching us. That's awesome. That's cool. You know, that's amazing to think about that. One of the countries that I've always, sorry that I'm shaking. It's hard to hold. One of the countries that I've always really wanted to go to is Switzerland. I've looked at videos and I've looked at pictures, and it just looks so beautiful. So I would love to experience it myself. It's so green and it looks like so many mountains. And Japan. I really want to go to Japan just because the culture. Sorry, I just thought about it. Sorry. Okay. No, I take it back. Maybe Japan, because I think the culture, everything about it is so cool, and I love everything. The people, the anime, everything it'd be so fun to experience in person.
History. Yeah.
Just culture, everything.
Yeah, well, you could only choose one.
All right, Japan for now. I'll go to Switzerland later.
Okay, my favorite one is Hawaii.
Hawaii for Hades.
I was gonna say Japan, and you take it.
You can still have it. I mean, we're a family. We could go together.
Nope.
Damn it. Okay, choose another one. Another one is from Autistic Daggy. Although he's nonverbal, autistic, how does Christian cope with Playdates at your home? Thank you for the question and for the support. We see you commenting often, and we appreciate it. Let's see. How does Christian cope with Playdates at your house? That kind of goes back to what Hugo said about having family gatherings. We don't really have play dates, right, with other children. Only like when we have friends over and they have kids, I would consider that sort of like play dates. He doesn't do very well. He's very not antisocial at all, but it's hard for him to go in there and play with them. He's more like of a I'll play near you perhaps, but not necessarily engage with you. So that's something that we're really trying to work on, and it's gotten better because he's not just. It used to be that Christian wanted to be just constantly in his room and in our room or anywhere where there wasn't people. Now you can see him trying to engage a bit more just by being in that same environment with people and our friends and family. He's not trying to escape as much. What do you think, babe?
Something I noticed is, since Christian, he's a bit on the tall side, and when we go to the gym, they have this play area for kids, and we leave them there. I noticed that since he's one of the bigger kids, normally the younger kids want to play with the older kids, so they all try to talk to Christian. And
The younger kids, you're right.
yeah, they all try to talk to Christian and kind of get his attention. And I'm thinking the younger kids are thinking, oh, I'm probably not cool enough.
Yeah, that's true. Because they
Yeah.
are always trying to, like, because he likes to be in the bounce house, and a lot of kids, like, the little kids like to be in the bounce house. So it is, I'm always like, look, babe, she's trying to talk to him. And she'll just be like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, you know, like,
So it's awesome that the younger kids are trying to engage with Christian, and
Yeah.
there is times where Christian sticks around and he does his best to play along, but he does have trouble with it. And for the small amount that it does happen, we
get so happy.
We get so happy,
Yeah.
even if it's for a few seconds or maybe a minute or
Or
two.
when Christian just looks at them, like, he does this hard look that he's like, I'm looking at you. And I wonder what the kids think, like, whoa, what happened, you know? But
Yeah.
Christian, that's for him, it's like, hey, I see you, what's up, we're playing, okay, you know?
Every time that moment comes up, babe, look,
Yeah,
look,
always.
look.
Look, she's gonna try to talk to him. We're like, look, Christian's like sitting right next. Like, when we walk in and see them like close to each other playing with something, even though they're not playing together, it's like they're, you know, they probably are playing together. Kids often, especially the younger ones that are trying, they don't need a lot of communication. They just want to be near each other.
Yeah, very
So that's
true.
cool.
I don't know if that answered your question or not, but for the most part, what we do is we just try to just let him do his thing, and we don't force him to play
Yeah.
with other kids. When it comes down to playing, it just happens. It's something you can't really push on.
You can say that we try to make that situation happen by locking the doors to our rooms, because he will at times try to go there. So if we lock it, he's like, all right, like, he's not gonna be like, open the door, like trying to push us over there. He's just like, oh, they're locked, let me go to the living room again, you know.
Yeah.
Another question from that same person is, what are your biggest fears and concerns about Christian's future? That's a really good question, a really hard one. This is why I like doing Q&As, or like just like getting questions from you guys, from our subscribers, because you guys always make us think about things that we don't think about often, you know, like we think about it, it's in our head, but not discuss it often. So biggest concerns or worries for his future, let me think about it.
And my biggest concern is just when he becomes an adult, and will he be able to look after himself?
Yeah.
Or talk.
Yeah, we just it crosses my mind often, and that's the ultimate goal, to get him to spread his wings and fly as far as he can, you know. But
So I think my biggest fear would probably be that I really want him, I don't need him to talk per se. Like, I'm okay with if he was to always be, you know, considered non-verbal. I'd be okay with that. What I really hope for his future and what I fear is not having a way of getting him a form of communication, whether it be PECs, sign language, whatever form. I just want there to be a form of communication, because in this day and age, you don't really need to talk. You need to be able to communicate, you know. Like, if he could be independent and work like as a engineer, like from home, like, you know, there's so many things that you can do, and you don't have to necessarily live outside of your home. He could live with us as long as he can have like a form of communication, a way to be able to be heard. That's like my biggest fear, is for him to not be able to be heard, you know, like to not have any form of communication, to always rely on us for that, even though I could tell that there's like frustration where like he's like, I want to say this to you guys, why aren't you listening, kind of thing, you know. So that would be my biggest fear for him. Next question comes from Urbina. Are you Latina?
what is it? Urbina?
Urbina. That's cool.
Thank you for your comment, Urbina.
Are you Latina? Where are you from? I love your videos and positivity. Greetings from Venezuela.
Yeah.
I am Latina. Hablamos español. And thank you. We try to be very positive, because we want to live a life of positivity. We don't want to live a negative life. It's easy to kind of like fall into that hole of not the depression, but like always thinking the what ifs and like focusing on the hard parts. But you have to try to just stay positive, because there's no other choice. You don't want to live that dark life. You want to be happy and positive, right? I've seen there's a few Spanish speakers, a few people from like Latin countries, and I wanted to know, I've been thinking about creating a separate channel, a channel in Spanish, because I do have a lot of family that
or Spanglish.
or no, yeah, to be clear, Spanglish, because Spanish is my first language, but sorry. Spanish is my first language, but I've obviously I was born here. We speak English primarily. We have words in Spanish. We speak Spanish, you know, but it's not mochado. It's broken up, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a channel to give more information and give glimpses of our life to our Spanish speaking family, because they watch some of our videos, but they're like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying, you know, I don't want to sit down and listen to you guys. I want the vlogs because they want, you know, to see. But yeah, I was thinking about it. Let me know if I have a lot of Spanish speakers, if that would be something that you would be interested in, because I'm definitely thinking about it. But don't expect perfect Spanish if you are interested in it. Spanglish from me, pretty good Spanish from him.
No, not at all. You're putting me on the spot by saying that.
Especially because if it's a topic of like discussing certain things, it would definitely be kind of hard.
Oh yeah.
Next question: where is the long drive to? Drew, we are going to San Diego.
San Diego.
From Jennifer, which therapies do you take your son to? I wish mine is calm as yours. Our son is calm. He has two speeds. He has very chill, calm Christian, and then it's very excited, very I want to run everywhere, very give me, let me do, let me run, jump, very active mode, right, babe?
Yeah.
So I would say Christian is very calm, but at the same time, regarding certain things that he's doing, especially if we're putting demands on him, he's like, let me avoid, let me run, I want to do this, I want to do that. So it's just cuando quiere, when he wants.
Yes, he knows how to play the system.
Oh yeah, like yesterday we went to speech and he had a different speech therapist because his regular speech therapist was sick, and he definitely was playing her. Like he was like, I'm gonna touch the carpet, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna look at you, I'm not gonna do that even though I know how to. So he definitely picks and chooses what setting he's in, calm or a little wild.
Yeah, I think that's one of his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
He knows
how to manipulate you a little bit.
Yes, he knows what he could get away with, how far he could push things.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a harsh word, but I mean, he knows how to play people.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be a harsh word. It's kind of like you're pretty good at it, you know?
Yeah.
And the other part of it, which therapies do you take your son to right now? He is doing ABA therapy. He's been doing it since he was, he did early intervention, and then he went to ABA therapy. So you could say he's been doing it since he was like 2.5. And he also has speech, which he started at about 3.5, almost 4. So right now we're also considering occupational therapy. So that might be coming in the future. But yeah, right now he's doing those two. ABA therapy and speech. Next question comes from Alexa. What things have you found to enjoy about having a child with special needs? I think just the joy in life. Like, my son is so happy. He is living his best life. He doesn't care what you think. He just wants to do as he pleases, and that's very nice to see. Besides when he needs to be doing something, you know, but just like seeing the joy and like the just living his best life, it's a beautiful thing, you know, like no fear in like what people think or anything.
The most beautiful thing, how genuine he is. The hugs, everything is very genuine.
Yeah, that's true. Very intense.
Yes.
Okay, next question. Can you tell us what early interventions have you tried with Christian and which of them you found more effective? Thank you, Christina, for your question. What we have tried, early intervention, we did early intervention when he was about 2.5, which meant that he had a form of ABA therapy, but it's more RBTs come into your home and BCBAs, and they tell you kind of like what to try to do with your son. So I remember early intervention meant that they taught us how to make Christian point because he wasn't doing that, and they taught us how to get eye contact from Christian because he wasn't doing that at all. That doesn't mean that we force Christian to make eye contact all the time, because I mean, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to, but for certain things, you know, we really wanted to try to get him to understand that he needs to look at certain things or to look at us at certain times. And also they taught us, I would say that's kind of it, no? Like, because when they would come, they would do more play-based things because he was so little, so they would try to play puzzles with him and show him how to engage and interact with them, so kind of like socialize. And then from that, it went on to ABA therapy, which is it was more table work and also socializing and playing, and they taught Christian the potty routine, and then that went on to speech, which we still do. So all of those combined really helped Christian get to where he's at right now. Having all of these therapies, I think, really helped them versus just having one or the other, because pre-K would do socializing with kids, speech would focus on getting him to try to use pegs or try to use like a way of communicating, and then ABA would work on also potty and trying to get him to understand he needs to have a calm body, sit down while we're doing these tasks. So everything kind of helped him overall. If you're thinking about starting therapy, I would say definitely if they're younger than 3, early intervention was a big help. I didn't see it in the beginning. Even Hugo, I remember you would be like, they're just playing with him. That's not, how is that going to help? But when we think back to it, it did help with pointing. It did help with eye contact and just like being more aware of us and answering his name.
What I think back to it, it wasn't really teaching him. It was teaching us.
It was, yeah.
To teach him.
Think about it like that. Don't expect them to teach him.
They were only there for 1 hour a week.
A week.
And well, they can't really do much with Christian for that 1 hour, but they could do more.
Teach you.
To educate the parents, to teach him, since we're with him every single day.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I really would like to specify about therapy is if you're considering doing ABA therapy or occupational, whatever therapy, please don't go into it thinking that you're going to see crazy, amazing results within a short amount of time. It's easy to think that. I believe I thought that, and then you're going to get let down because no therapy is going to be a miracle worker. No, nothing is going to be a miracle worker. It takes time for our kids to process things and to understand, and then to create that a habit, you know? So when Christian started, I really wanted to see results, and I felt like, why am I not seeing results? To this day, it's been over 2 years. Has it been over 2 years? 2 years since he started? About 2 years. And it's very much like this. Like, let's say this is like the milestones. It's right here, and then he has a big leap, and then it's like we're going back down, and then we're right here. And then another big leap, and then it's like regression. So it's very up and down. That's just the way that life is. And try to write down, honestly, try to write down every single thing that is a milestone, even if it seems little, because when you go back and you think about it, you can be like, oh my God, he wasn't doing that and he's doing that now, and like, yeah, we did learn this. I can't believe he wasn't. Like, it's all little achievements that all of a sudden you look back and you're like, wow, the progress is there and it's real. Honestly, you just have to be very thankful and appreciate and just try to look at all the little baby milestones, because 2 years later you're gonna be like, wow, my son, my daughter, they're really, really doing so amazing. Like, that's how I feel about Christian, and that's how a lot of his therapists feel. Like, if they don't see him for a while and then they look at videos, or let's say a week passes and he does something new, they're like, he's doing so good, you know? Like, just focus on the little baby achievements.
You can never go wrong with just getting that help. You're not hurting him by giving him or her that extra help.
Another question, what symptoms did you see that led you to get an assessment for Christian, and were you and Hugo always on the same page regarding how you both handled his diagnosis? This is from Cashel, I believe. Thank you for your question. The symptoms that I could really think back and strongly be like, triggered me to be like, babe, something's different, or you know, he didn't meet the milestones, was he didn't respond to his name, and he did not look us in the eyes, and he did not say any words. So when you think about nonverbal, often it's like echolalic, I don't know if I say that right, where they'll repeat the words, or maybe like they have some sounds. From what I can remember for Christian, he had maybe some babbles when he was little, like ba 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 ba, or like ooh, but I can never think back to a moment where he would really try to say words, you know? Like, I've never had Christian say words. The only time I can remember is when we were in early intervention, the observation meeting, and he said ball, but he didn't say ball, but it was like bah, and everybody was like, wow, after we had just said that he didn't say any words, remember? But after that, he never tried again. So that was one of the things. So no eye contact, no responding to his name, really focused on one thing, which was the TV, and being completely nonverbal. What about you?
What stand out the most was that you would talk to him, call out his name, and it was like he didn't hear you. Like if no one ever called his name out, and that really stand out.
To the point where we would even have to, like, we did a hearing test just because it seemed like there's something wrong with hearing. We have to rule that out because he was very unresponsive to his name or sounds. Or
we'll go to the store and he'll just wander off, and we'd always be running after him, or because he'll just run off, and that really was a red flag for me, and this is not normal.
Yeah. and we would bring it up to his pediatrician. More than anything, she would just ask the basic questions of, has he done this, has he done that, do you see this? And we'd be like, no. And she would be like, that's odd, but let's give him another 6 months. And once he turned 18 months, that's when she was like, no, he definitely should be doing this by now. It's up to you guys if you want to go ahead and take this referral that I'll give you to early intervention. It doesn't mean he has anything, it just means he's a little delayed and we want to get him on track. So that was the best thing we could ever do for him. I would definitely want to tell you guys, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but if you guys are considering doing early intervention, if you think maybe something is going on that's a little different with your child, never feel like you shouldn't do it. Never feel like it's gonna give you a diagnosis. Like, honestly, the best thing you could do is just give as much help, because it doesn't mean your son or daughter has autism. It means they could be just a little delayed, and with a little bit of help they'll get there, you know? Like, don't be scared of that. Just give as much help as you can is what I would say. All right, next question. What would you do if they told you he did not need speech anymore?
Buy him a cake.
I think maybe this question could be taken two ways. If he didn't need speech anymore, if they told me he's all done, like, that would be amazing. That means that he's gotten communication to a T. He found a way to express his needs, whether it's he's talking or pecs or whatever. It'd be a celebration. But if he's like, let's say right now, the way that he is right now, no communication, like, well, no, he has communication. He has a way that he tells us things, but not not perfect. If they were to tell us that right now, I'd be like, I don't think so. I'm gonna get a second opinion and I'm gonna take him somewhere else, because it doesn't make sense, right? It's like you're ending therapy and it's not even 100% there yet, right? Or what do you think?
At the end of the day, it's up to the parent, us, to see if we want to continue with speech. But if they're telling us that everything's going well,
yeah,
it's up to us to if we want to continue it or not, right?
I think it all depends on like what we see as parents at home, everywhere. Is his speech getting better, communication getting better? And if it is, then yeah, I mean, if we don't need therapy, the end goal will always be to not need therapy anymore. Yeah, so
a cake, definitely.
Yeah. But if you feel like he does need it, like, for example, school was saying no speech because he's not ready, and we're like, no, yes, speech because he needs it. You're just telling me he's not ready because he can't sit still for you. But now that we fought it and he still has it, they're saying that he's doing a lot better. So fight it if you feel that he needs it, right? How do you feel about biomedical?
Biomedical, is that like the shots?
So
or what is that?
Biomedical.
As you can see, we haven't done research on this. I have.
Because I'm the person that wants to research a lot of things, but to be honest, I haven't done full research. Like, if somebody asks me questions and I don't know, like commenters or subscribers, I usually go on and research certain things, and if I feel like it's something I'll research even more. It's just I want to get an idea of it. From what I understand, biomedical is like a medical treatment in a way that there's certain doctors that say you should do, where it's like you have toxins in your body and you do B12 shots and you restrict certain foods, and it's like a diet and supplements, and I'm not very, very well informed, of course, but just by that for me. So this is kind of tricky because a lot of people, it's opinions, you know, like everybody's entitled to their opinions. So if my opinion is not the same as yours, don't take it the wrong way, and I respect your opinions just like I would hope you respect mine. Honestly, with Christian, my son doesn't have a lot of, how do I explain it? He has behaviors, but nothing that I would feel like consists of I need to get him treatment help ASAP. Like, he doesn't bang his head on things. He doesn't hurt himself or others for the most part. He is a calm, happy kid. So for me to try to do something that's very restrictive and very much something that he would very much fight and be unhappy about, I don't want to go that route. All I want to do is help my son live the best life he can in the best way possible. The less, ¿cómo se dice? I want to try to do the least harsh thing that I can possible. So I'm not gonna go guns blazing into something that is very intense if I could try the least intense first. So with Christian, therapy has been helping a lot, and us just being very on it and like trying our best to teach him whenever we can and be loving and show him things the way that we can. That's the least intrusive for me, and that's what's been working right now. If anything ever happened where he had medical conditions, seizures, or his life was very much in the negative, like at this moment, it's not something that I would consider, just because if I can't do it long term, if it's not something that is really 100% like I know I could commit to it and be effective, and like not just do it for like a few months and be like I'm done, then I'm not even gonna try.
I would consider it if I knew there was enough evidence that it will not harm him and that it will help him, and that's pretty much it, you know.
So this is where us as parents, you could say we kind of differ. I think you say that you like, if you could see that there's enough evidence to your liking that you would try it, you probably would. All right, guys, thank you so much for sending in your questions. We really appreciate it. There were really good questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and we'll see you in the next vlog in San Diego. Peace out. Bye. Christian, say bye, buddy. Bye, buddy.
They're doing really good back there.
Yeah. Bye, Haiti. And then you made yourself cozy with Mr. Bunny. Yes.